Hey Raiders fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Las Vegas Raiders. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. The buzz around the NFL just exploded this week, and you can almost feel the rumble coming straight from the desert. The Las Vegas Raiders, a team that's been on a mission to redefine their identity and build a dominant presence in the AFC, have reportedly secured none other than JADEVEON Clowney to bolster their defensive line. That's right, Clowney, the explosive edge rusher who once took the league by storm with his ferocious athleticism, might finally be bringing that energy to Sin City. Sources close to the situation claim that discussions have been ongoing for weeks, with both sides pushing to make this partnership happen before the playoff race heats up. Raiders fans have been begging for more consistency on defense, and this could be the move that changes everything. Imagine Maxx Crosby and JADEVEON Clowney lining up on opposite ends, two relentless forces of nature ready to collapse any quarterback's comfort zone. That's not just a defense. That's a nightmare for offensive coordinators. The energy surrounding this potential signing is electric, and if true, it marks one of the boldest mid-season moves in recent Raiders history. Las Vegas might finally have their chaos engine in motion. Now, if you've been following the Raiders this season, you know they've been teetering on that fine line between potential and frustration. Their offense has shown flashes, their defense has shown grit, but something was missing: a true anchor, a player who could set the tone from the first snap. And that's exactly what JADEVEON Clowney brings to the table. He's not just a pass rusher, he's a statement. The man plays with the kind of controlled aggression that can turn the tide of a game in a single play. Remember his hit in college that became a viral sensation? That level of intensity never left him. It's just been waiting for the right stage to reappear. And what better stage than Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world, where every game feels like a primetime event? The Raiders' defensive coordinator has reportedly been thrilled about the idea of using Clowney in hybrid schemes, rotating him inside and outside to maximize disruption. It's not just about sacks. It's about creating chaos, forcing turnovers, and dictating the pace. This move could be the spark the Raiders have been chasing all season long. Of course, as with any big move, there's a layer of skepticism floating around. Critics have pointed out that Clowney, despite his undeniable talent, has bounced around several teams over the past few years: Texans, Seahawks, Titans, Browns, and Ravens, without quite finding a permanent home. But sometimes, all a player like him needs is the right environment, the right motivation, and the right leadership. The Raiders' locker room has evolved since the arrival of key veterans who've brought a new sense of accountability and drive. Clowney could fit into that culture seamlessly, especially alongside Maxx Crosby, whose relentless motor and leadership have become the foundation of this defense. The chemistry between the two could elevate everyone around them, from the linebackers to the secondary. Clowney's presence alone could change the way offenses prepare for the Raiders. Double-teaming Crosby? That might not be an option anymore. The ripple effect could turn this defense from solid to scary, from reactive to dominant, and that's exactly the identity the Raiders have been craving since their move to Vegas. Now, let's talk about the motivation factor. JADEVEON Clowney isn't just looking for another paycheck. He's looking for legacy. At this stage of his career, he knows time is ticking to make a lasting impact, to be remembered not just as a physical freak, but as a player who elevated teams when it mattered most. Las Vegas gives him that shot. A franchise that's hungry to prove itself. A fan base that thrives on passion and intensity, and a defense that's been one piece away from greatness. It's a perfect storm. Word is that Clowney's camp sees this as an opportunity to rebrand, to showcase not just his athleticism, but his football IQ and leadership. And when you think about it, the Raiders have a history of giving players second chances and watching them flourish. From veterans seeking redemption to young stars finding their rhythm, Vegas has become a destination where careers are revived. If Clowney buys into the system, stays healthy, and feeds off the energy of Allegiant Stadium, we could be witnessing the rebirth of a defensive menace that once terrified offensive lines across the league. The Raiders' front office, on the other hand, deserves credit for being aggressive. They know the window to compete in the AFC West is brutally tight, with teams like Kansas City still holding the crown and Denver and Los Angeles constantly looming. Standing still is not an option. Signing JADEVON Clowney signals that Las Vegas is ready to roll the dice. Pun absolutely intended, and make a statement that they're not content with mediocrity. This isn't a move for the future. This is a move for right now. Pairing Clowney with an improving secondary and a linebacker group that's finally finding its rhythm could make this defense a legitimate top 10 unit. It's all about momentum in the NFL, and few players can shift momentum like Clowney. The whispers around the organization suggest that the mood in the locker room has already changed. Players are fired up, coaches are smiling wider, and fans? They're already buying Clowney jerseys. This is more than just a signing. It's a cultural injection of energy, swagger, and belief. And when the Raiders start believing, dangerous things happen. Still, we have to acknowledge the risk. Clowney's durability has always been a question mark, and his production, while impactful, hasn't always shown up on the stat sheet. But maybe that's where perspective matters most. Clowney's influence often goes beyond numbers. His ability to collapse pockets, disrupt running lanes, and force quarterbacks into mistakes doesn't always show in traditional metrics. The Raiders' coaching staff seems to understand that, and that's why this could work beautifully. They're not asking him to be the old Clowney. They're asking him to be the right Clowney for this system. And with Vegas's defensive front already showing flashes of dominance, adding a versatile veteran could be the finishing touch. Whether this rumor turns into reality or not, the conversation alone has reignited excitement among fans. It feels like the Raiders are finally turning the corner, embracing boldness, and daring to dream big again. Because in Vegas, fortune favors the fearless, and if Clowney truly joins the silver and black, the entire league better buckle up. Something wild might just be brewing under those desert lights. And now comes the second wave of speculation, the kind that sends shockwaves through every sports talk show and fan forum across the country. If JADEVON Clowney is officially wearing the silver and black, it means the Raiders front office is going all in on a playoff push, something fans have been craving for far too long. The chatter inside the organization reportedly points to a deal that's performance-heavy, rewarding Clowney for what he does best, causing chaos in the backfield. That structure shows just how serious both sides are about making this work. No distractions, no drama, just results. The Raiders have always been a team that thrives on identity, and this move could give them a new one: fast, furious, and ferocious. Every fan knows that energy matters as much as execution, and Clowney brings an attitude that's contagious. With the season entering its crucial stretch, the idea of a re-energized defensive front could make the difference between another rebuilding year and a genuine playoff run. If this move pays off, it could be remembered as the turning point that brought fear back into the eyes of Raiders opponents and belief back into the hearts of their fans. But let's take a step back and think about how this changes the locker room dynamic. Max Crosby has been the unquestioned heart of this defense, leading by example with relentless effort, even when the rest of the unit struggled. Bringing in someone like Clowney could take some pressure off Crosby, allowing him to play even more freely. It's not about stealing the spotlight. It's about sharing the load. And if these two build chemistry on and off the field, they could form one of the scariest edge duos in football. Opposing quarterbacks might as well start setting alarms for Clowney and Crosby incoming, because protection schemes will have to change overnight. The Raiders' secondary, often criticized for being inconsistent, could finally benefit from consistent pressure up front. Turnovers come easier when quarterbacks panic, and with those two breathing down their necks, panic will be inevitable. That's the ripple effect great defenses create. Pressure leads to mistakes, mistakes lead to momentum, and momentum leads to wins. And let's face it, nothing in the NFL changes a team's trajectory faster than a defense that can dominate the trenches. Now, from a narrative standpoint, this move feels poetic. Clowney's career has been filled with moments of brilliance followed by questions of what if. What if he had stayed healthy longer? What if he had landed in the right system earlier? What if he finally found a team that truly believed in his unique skill set? The Raiders could be that team. Las Vegas isn't just another stop. It's a spotlight, and Clowney thrives under bright lights. He's got the chance to flip his own story, to go from a player defined by potential to one defined by production. And let's be real, Raiders fans love a redemption arc. They rally behind players who come in with something to prove, players who wear that chip on their shoulder like armor. Clowney fits that mold perfectly. His intensity, his hunger, and his physical presence could make him a fan favorite within weeks. In Vegas, it's not just about performance. It's about spectacle. And Clowney, at his best, is pure spectacle. If this partnership clicks, it could be one of those moments where both player and team elevate each other in a way that changes their legacies forever. The broader NFL community is watching closely, too. The AFC West has long been dominated by the Chiefs, with the Raiders struggling to keep up despite moments of promise. But every dynasty eventually meets resistance, and moves like this suggest that the Raiders are done playing catch-up. They're coming for the crown. Adding Clowney send a message not just to Kansas City, but to the entire league. The Raiders are done being an afterthought. They're here to compete, to disrupt, to shake up the hierarchy. Analysts are already predicting that if this signing goes through and Clowney delivers even 75% of his potential, the Raiders' defense could leap several spots in the rankings. It's about changing the perception of who the Raiders are, a team of flash and flair, yes, but also one of grit and grind. And when you blend those two elements together, that's when championship DNA starts forming. Clowney might just be the missing gene in that evolution, and Vegas is the perfect lab to test it out. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Even behind the scenes, the excitement is palpable. Coaches reportedly can't stop talking about the creative possibilities this signing opens up. Clowney's versatility allows him to play multiple positions across the front, from traditional defensive end to interior disruptor in passing downs. That kind of flexibility gives coordinators endless ways to confuse offenses. Picture third and long situations, Clowney on one side, Crosby on the other, and maybe a blitz disguise behind them. It's the kind of nightmare scenario that forces quarterbacks into bad decisions before the ball even leaves their hand. And when you add the energy of a roaring home crowd at Allegiant Stadium, that environment could become one of the most intimidating in football. Las Vegas has been waiting for its defense to match the city's intensity, and with Clowney in town, it just might. The synergy between player and city feels inevitable. A mix of raw power, unpredictable energy, and showtime appeal. It's almost cinematic, the kind of move that feels destined to make headlines beyond the field itself. And finally, whether this story ends up being confirmed or remains a rumor, it's already done something remarkable. It's reignited belief. Raiders fans, often tested by years of ups and downs, finally have something to dream about again. The idea of Clowney in silver and black represents more than just a player. It represents possibility. It's the whisper that maybe, just maybe, the Raiders are turning the corner toward greatness once more. That's the beauty of the NFL. Every rumor, every signing, every spark of hope carries the weight of an entire fan base's emotion. And for a team as iconic as the Raiders, those emotions run deep. If Clowney does step onto that field wearing the Pirate logo, it won't just be another free agent move. It'll be a declaration. A reminder that in the city built on risk and reward, sometimes you have to gamble big to win bigger. And right now, it feels like the Las Vegas Raiders are holding a winning hand, ready to go all in. In conclusion, the signing of Stefon Diggs by the Raiders is reverberating far beyond the confines of Las Vegas, sparking a web of speculation, anticipation, and dramatic storytelling that captures the essence of modern NFL fandom. Every angle, from tactical adjustments to locker room culture, from fantasy football projections to betting markets, contributes to an evolving narrative that keeps analysts, fans, and rival teams engaged in constant discussion. Rumors about strategy, chemistry, and leadership add intrigue, while on-field potential fuels dreams of highlight reels, game-winning plays, and historic achievements. Social media amplifies the story, generating viral content, debates, and fan-driven narratives that extend the excitement beyond the stadium, creating a cultural moment that intersects sport, entertainment, and identity. Analysts dissect every press conference, tweet, and practice report, while fans envision the possibilities and scenarios that could define Diggs' tenure with the team. The excitement, speculation, and anticipation converge to form a multi-layered story, illustrating how a single acquisition can ignite passion, conversation, and drama across the league. In every sense, Stefon Diggs' arrival signals a turning point, a focal moment of transformation, and a narrative that will dominate conversations, headlines, and highlight reels for the foreseeable future. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.